A sunny Sunday out west with a touch of reflection.
Well, I just hope it doesn't divide us, to be honest.
Well, I was expecting it, unfortunately.
The suburb of Mandurah sits in the electorate of Canning, which returned one of the state's largest no results.
I think it's a great result for Australian democracy. This was all about unity. A lot of people on the way in yesterday at polling booths, they wanted to see a unified country, so they voted no to division.
Well, I think it is good because we're in one country. We don't need two laws. You're dividing it up.
The state government's bungled Aboriginal cultural heritage laws dominating much of WA's campaign.
There is no doubt that the Aboriginal Cultural Heritage Act sent shockwaves across the state and across the country. What that illustrated is that details matter.
About 900,000 West Australians turned out to vote. Some left casting their ballot after the ABC projected the referendum would fail.
Voting really doesn't feel like makes much of a difference.
Despite the polls predicting this very outcome, many Yes supporters had remained hopeful it would swing the other way. Those here at the official Yes campaign event in Northbridge hoping to celebrate, instead arriving after the result had been called.
And the referendum wasn't successful. I respect the outcome.
I just think people needed to open their hearts, and maybe not enough of them did.
I'm disappointed for the Indigenous community. I'm disappointed for my children and my grandchildren.
In the end, it was a resounding no vote for the state. WA largely following the national trend, with the inner city electorates of Perth and possibly Curtin the only ones to return a yes result. But there were some outliers in the regions, with strong support for the voice in parts of the Kimberley, where about half the population is Indigenous.
Well, I'm disappointed because where I'm standing, being part of the stolen generation, and there's a lot of things that we are fighting for from back then.
It's about time we're going to make our own decision.
In the goldfields town of Kalgoorlie, Indigenous community leaders mixed on the voice, united on what's next.
Not only with Aboriginal people, but with others. And look at a united approach, a bipartisan approach.
More talking and more consultation, I think, is a better way of moving forward.
Some waiting for others to make the first move.
You know, Australia's made themselves clear where we stand, and it's now the ball's in their court to be able to make reconciliation come together for black and white.
We all need to come together for the good of people and embrace one another.
Many still willing to try. Brianna Shepherd, ABC News.